For people that see someone who's a beast, who's done great things, you just assume that they're different than you. But then you hear about your insecurities and your pitfalls and all the things that went wrong with you, and you realize, well, God damn it, those are the same things that go wrong with me. Like maybe I have that inside of me and I've just never summoned it.
You have these tools. Your life was basically the perfect grounds for training for where you need to go in your life. All the beatings, all the bullying, all the, you going through learning disabilities, all the struggles. It was the absolute perfect training ground for you to go to where you need to go. And that's how I started looking at my life versus woe is me, poopy pants, kick a rock down the street mentality. It was, God just hooked you right up. He hooked you right up, man, with the perfect place. You were training for the first 18, 19, 20, you were training for this stuff, man. Your struggle is what made you who you are now. So I started flipping this into a whole different, I started being a master of what I was scared of. I was scared of my mind. And I became literally a master of that mind. And that's what now, from now on, it sets me apart from most people. I started diving into that. My dad was a person that, he was an alcoholic. He was really big on being a powerful man. And once my dad got drunk, that's when the nightmare began. He'd get drunk, he'd get violent. We got beatings quite regularly, probably at least once or twice a week. And the beatings weren't like, hey, I'm gonna give you a whipping because you did something wrong. It was like, hey, I don't feel good today. And you get beat for that. That foundation of life that I didn't have, that's how it started off for me. And it's progressively got worse. I have all these scars on my brain from growing up, from, being abused, from suffering through life, from having a learning disability, from stuttering, from having just a really bad childhood. I kept on feeling like I was getting over the hump. And then one little windstorm, small little windstorm would come by and push me back to scratch. I taught myself all these things, all these disciplines. But whenever the first real big challenge would come, that little windstorm would push me back in the hole. And I realized, man, I'm fixing stuff on a surface level. I'm all surface, man. I'm not going deep into the cellar of my mind and fixing the foundation of my soul. My soul is broken. I knew I could fix it, but I was afraid to go back. I was about 24 years old, and I went from 175 to almost 300 pounds. And that's when I sat down on my couch and realized we got to go back. And it started with me going back to my father. I'm never going to get over the hurdle. I'm always going to live on a surface level until I go deep into the sewer of my mind to figure out and face all of these different demons. That's hard. I came from a place that truly damaged my mind, damaged my soul, and now I have to go back on my own to face this shit. At 24 years old, this haunting fucking voice in my head kept on saying, man, we gotta go back. The only way we can go forward is to go all the way back. And that's very scary to do for everybody. So what you have to start doing is realizing that no matter where you're at in life, I got called nigger a lot. My dad abused me. Learning disability, stutters, immaturity, insecurities, self-doubt, so much crap on top of me. No one's coming back to help me. So it starts with that person in that mirror. You have to realize you are on your own now. On earth, it's a very lonely journey. I have to face myself. And you have to own all those things that people may have done to you. Now it's yours. You got to own it. It's yours now to fix the problems that people did to you. It makes no sense. It's not fair. I get it. But if you live in that woe is me mentality of guess what? My dad did this to me. My mom did this to me. People who bullied did this to me. You're going to always live right there. You have to figure out ways to move forward. You are doing this to yourself. Yes, people may have helped you get there, but it's now on you. You have to constantly rewrite your book every day of your life. these aren't just words I say. This is how I have to live. Like, these are conversations I have with myself. And I say it everywhere I go. The most important conversation when you have it yourself. You live with it every single day. But most of our conversations are not the right ones. They're not the ones that are going to push us to the place we need to go. They're the ones that are going to keep us sitting in that toxic environment that you've helped create and everybody else helped create, and you just live in it. You live in that muck, and that conversation just plays in your head. That becomes you. The conversation has to become an honest conversation of where you're at mentally. Where am I at mentally? I look like shit. I feel like shit. I'm falling behind in school. I'm lazy. My house is a mess. You have to look at what it is and call it what it is. It's not okay. So that's where it starts. It starts with that accountability of it's not okay anymore. This can no longer be okay. What was hard about it was trying to find power. Trying to find power in filth. Trying to take all this negative shit and say, all right, how the fuck am I gonna use all this shit to propel me forward? That's the hardest part about it, because all you want to do is lay in it and just say, God, man, like, just let me die in this shit. So as you're going back to it, it almost makes you say, how the fuck did I get here? Because you have to go back to it before you go forward. You know, we all want to start now. So that's not how it works. You can't speak about the way I do unless you process it. You go back 1,000,000 times. You battle it. You overcome it. Even though it's gone, you gotta go back in your mind and face it and overcome it. That's how the generational shit goes on. My dad was an alcoholic. My dad was a druggie. I'm a druggie. That's how that shit goes on. No one stops it. I stopped it. So that's what that caused me to do. There's a great drive and passion behind doing things for the mind and the soul. There's something inside you. The brain is the most powerful thing. The mind is the most powerful thing that we have. And if you can tap into that, you can come from the daggone roots of hell and become such a great seed. A powerful seed that can grow into some great daggone garden. And people don't get that. It's all up here. The power and the magic's up here. You do have the courage. You just got to find it. Throughout this journey, I started becoming this new person. I started creating this new person. People started seeing me as this amazing superhero. In the back of my mind, I knew the real story. I had to go through all of that shit to see the limitations of the human mind. I believe that I was here to do that. To come literally, no one taught me anything, man. To say, all right, man, what are we capable of? I had to be that guinea pig. And now, because I was that guinea pig, other people are learning from me, not having to go through everything I went through. But now, I have the answers to a lot of these. For my students, people who are listening to me, I have answers for you. Some people really understand how I think, the very primitive way in how I think. Some people, this is like, hey man, you got problems, you have issues. I got it. You need another teacher. But a lot of people say, no, I get it, man. But the people who get it, a lot of people either want to be better, come from a very dark place, come from a place where they're fucking hiding from something, and they don't want to be exposed. Those are the people who understand can't hurt me. The book can't hurt me. Those people who say, no, man, fuck this, man. It's time to be exposed. The only way you can help people out is let them know that this is possible. So I had to go back and say, this is where I come from. And where I come from is hell.
Being in the game, you didn't have to be the biggest, the fastest, or the strongest. You just had to be totally dedicated to it. And I was more dedicated to the effort part of it, you know. And so I always was around athletes who was much better than me. I never really found too many people that would just beat me in pure effort. And then one. Once I figured out that it wasn't really about the sport, it was really about a lifestyle, about really challenging yourself to hone in on different things, to be disciplined with life. When you see transition really start to happen, when you really want to transition into something, master it. There's no limits. You know, don't let the world ever put limits on you. You can do anything you want to do, but make sure if you have a vision, make sure the vision is written. You know, make sure you have something to actually chase and not just hoping and wishing and all these different things. So I tell guys this all the time: put your plan together and then work the plan. Don't work somebody else's plan, right? There's one thing about the league. I love the league, but the league is somebody else's brand, right? You have to create your own brand yourself, and your brand is whatever you feel like doing, whatever your heart is passionate about, chase it.